Alright, today I'm going to do a quick video on how to achieve the spiral effect, as well as inward spiraling effect that you see here, and one more spiraling effect that is not featured in this video. So we're going to start out by making ourselves a large template, or canvas to work with. Alright. Don't want any locked layers. And then I'm going to bring in something that I want to spiral. And so you can spiral any layer using this technique in any shape. But it makes a lot more sense to actually select something interesting out of the picture and spiral that out. So we're going to select these people. Hope this celebrity does not mind me using my picture of him with my wife to show you this video. So I've copied and pasted that. I'm going to duplicate that layer just so that I can retain the original size and shape of one layer. I'm going to knock those guys out for now. Now we're going to get into your actions panel over here, which I stay on photography, so it's available to me right here in actions. But if you were to be in painting, it's not there. You can find it over here in window. You can also use Alt F9 to open that up. So we're going to open our actions panel. We're going to create a new action. When we create it, it's going to start recording right away. But I'm not quite ready for that. So I'm going to wait. We're going to go in and clean this up a little bit. Give it a stroke. Grab your eraser. Get rid of this. I don't know. You might be better at Photoshop than me. I always get these things and they build up really fast in the spiraling. Stupid star eraser, but I'm not gonna kick that out. Alright. So that's my little trick to get rid of that stupid border. Okay, now we're ready to record. So what we're going to do is start the recording. We're going to duplicate that layer. Okay. We are going to go, we're going to free transform that layer. I like to use hotkeys myself. Alright. See, we didn't manage to erase all of this in this area. So our center is here. But I like that. I think that's going to give us an interesting spiral. So the first thing I'm going to do is decide what size increment each of my iterations is going to jump up. I'm going to do 3%. So you're going to actually have to add that to 100, of course, because you want it to be 3% larger. I'm going to do a 6-degree spin on each one. Okay, and that's all we have to do in transform. Then while we're still recording, you can see we're recording here. We're going to move that behind our other layer. And that is the entirety of our action. So the important next step, and this is going to be the next step in all the actions, so I'm not going to be repeating this, is to go ahead and go to Edit, to create a keyboard shortcut. Shortcuts 4, panel menus, actions, play. And I've got mine set to option F12. So I can be clicked in on this layer, hold option, hit F12, sit here, click it faster and faster, and each one of these layers takes up more space. So if you don't have a big hard drive, you're probably not going to be able to do increments lower than 10% and maybe 15 degrees? I don't know, it's hard for me to guess. So, alright. It's a pretty neat looking big outward spiral we've got there. So to show you the inward spiral, I'm going to merge all these layers so I can play with them. Okay, now we're going to make a hole where we want our spiraling in. We're going to make a spiral in to create another action. You know, an action for spiraling in it. So we've made our hole using a selection. Reselect, transform the selection to something larger. Transform selection is available in the select drop-down menu. We are going to copy and paste that. So that leaves us with a ring. Okay, now it's time to make a new action. Recording. So we're going to duplicate that layer. We're going to transform that layer. Generally can't shrink it more than 6%. I'm going to shrink mine 4%, and we're going to turn it 31 degrees. So we'll have smaller iterations, but a faster spiral, and we'll see what that looks like at the end. Move that back behind, very similar to the other, and then we have a completed action. And let's take a look at that using the hotkey. Nice. It's a very interesting algorithm that it's generating there. So as you can see, I'm having to create quite a few layers to move the edge of this circle in. Some of these can take up to 200 layers, but each layer contains less and less information when you use this style. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and finish this off. You can go faster and faster the smaller they are. I'm not sure if you can hear me clicking. I'm clicking very fast. For doing things in Photoshop. Okay. And then to continue working with this, generally, you're going to have to merge visible. You know, it's a fairly destructive process. Okay, spiral number 3. Go ahead and drop in a gradient. This is how I make my borders. I'm just going to grab a generic gradient and throw it in there. So we're going to delete that layer mask, rasterize that layer, select the entire thing, transform the selection, shrink that selection, so we have a border. Cut out that middle. And then what I like to do for these sort of things is just get some kind of cheese ball stuff going on in here. Do a big stroke. Inner shadow. And that should do it. Alright, let's rasterize those layers. And then, instead of going through all the trouble of making a whole nother action, unless we wanted to change the math, we can do one of my, any of these spiraling in actions on this. And get some, fairly interesting geometry going. I guess I don't actually know what geometry is. But, yeah. Thank you for watching my video, if you watched the video, or skipping to the end if you're hearing me right now without having watched.